Good afternoon, everyone. This is David Campbell, and I've brought with me fellow BIM enthusiast and BIM 360 expert, Joey Whitney. Today, we're going to cover the BIM 360, the series for success, right? So really what we want to do is give you guys a overview of what BIM 360 is. We've had a lot of questions over what module do I need? What module does what? How do I add models up? How do I get the proper permissions and invite people into projects, share documentation, things like that. So Joey and I thought we would take it upon ourselves to create a series that's going to go through all of the different BIM 360 modules and give you a good insight into what they do and how you can utilize them. So for today, what we wanted to do is give a overview of what BIM 360 is, and then we figure we kind of go from there. All right, Joe.
All right. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a minute, take a step back here. Many of you are thinking, all right, BIM 360, there's a lot to this. What is BIM 360? Do I need to buy docs if I'm buying coordination and all this sort of stuff? So we kind of want to demystify it a little bit, talk about what BIM 360 is, how it works, and then we'll go into an overview of a little more specific features, functionality of what the modules are. So starting with this slide here, this is just kind of a general overview, right? So as you can see, you've got this, cube in the middle. This cube is your single source of truth. It is your common data environment. It's where everything lives and everything, that you want to do accesses this information and kind of stores everything back in there, saves everything back into this one container, if you will. Then this container sits on something that's called Forge. Forge is a remarkable set of APIs that Autodesk has opened up that allows us to push and pull data and do remarkable things. So at its core, you have at the base level, you have Forge, series of APIs, so you can push and pull data. Then you have document management. Document management, as I said earlier, is that container where all your documents live. Um, and Forge just leverages that container. So on top of document management sits all these other modules. So sits your BIM 360 design, your coordinate, your BIM 360 build with all of your account admin and project admin functionalities. All that stuff sits on there. So in a nutshell, BIM 360, common data environment, single source of truth, that allows multiple stakeholders across all disciplines to kind of interact with that the latest and greatest file set, and always being able to compare and check back what's changed. So that's in a nutshell, David.
All right. All right. Great description, Joey. Thank you very much. Um, We'll switch over to BIM 360 now. So guys, I wanted to, again, give you kind of a general overview as to what BIM 360 is with this episode. So starting out from the basics, BIM 360 is actually a web browser-based application. So I would go to b2.autodesk.com. And this is where I'll log in. Generally, after you've created your account, this is where you're going to see your home page, whether you want to go to BIM 360 Docs, Glue, Field, or to your account admin portal. So I'm going to jump into the project homepage here. And the project homepage is really where you're going to see kind of what's going on with your project. So you guys see I'm kind of jumping around here. With BIM 360, you can have multiple projects going on at one time, and you'll notice I kind of changed accounts there at the beginning. So if you collaborate with several outside entities, right, not just internal but external as well, you're involved in several other projects that maybe you're not hosting but you're a part of. This is where you can jump through and kind of navigate to them, right? Pick the account that you want to go ahead and go through. And then essentially you're going to pick your project. So I'm going to scroll through my projects here and look for complete project example. And it's going to take me to my home screen. So again, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this home screen is going to change based on the actual project that you're in. So these little, they're called cards. These little cards are going to identify different things that are happening in your project. Okay. And with that, it just gives you a good dashboard to kind of see all of this information, like your design issues, any packages that are released. Again, these are kind of not only just project based, but based off the services that you have activated in the project itself. Okay, so they can very helpful to go ahead and kind of show different information. So going past this home screen though, I'm going to go over to this little 9-dot module selector over here. I like to call it my waffle. You'll see that the module selector is going to give you access to the different modules of BIM 360. Now, this again is based off of what you have activated in this project. So it's really based off of your needs. Okay. Now, I'll tell you guys all from a basic get-go standpoint, you're going to need docs, right? Because as Joey kind of specified earlier, excuse me, everything is built on docs. That's where it all starts. It's that single file repository, right? That single source of truth. And everything from docs, I guess, kind of just grows, right? It kind of flows through docs and goes from there. So Insight, this one is where you're going to see a lot of the metrics and analytics for your different projects that you have going on. So I really like this one. And like I said earlier, we are going to do a dive into each one of these different modules. Okay. Insight being the fact that it takes the information from all of these different modules and kind of it brings them all together like a conglomerate into a dashboard, right? That you can kind of interpret to see what's going on with your project, whether it's issues of design issue, field issues, whether they're RFIs, whether the contractor that you're working with is behind schedule, anything like that. It's going to give us a lot of information. So document management, we've spoken about this one a few times today, but this is again that file repository. It's where everything is going to be built off of. It's where you're going to stage your permissions to build your teams, your groups, allow access to information, or kind of deny access for people that don't need it, right? And as we kind of pass through docs, we're going to go into design. So with design collaboration, this is where you're taking the kind of model storage, data storage, and pushing it a step forward, right? You're going to say, I'm going to host my central model. If you're in Revit, I'm going to host my central model, and I'm going to publish these packages, allow people to consume this data, or live link to anybody inside or outside of my organization. Or if you're using Civil 3D, design collaboration now activates the collaboration with document management. So you can open up files, modify them, do the check-in, check-out workflow. We're also seeing that you have that capability with AutoCAD. And for 2021, Joey, isn't it that we saw that announcement for Plant 3D? So
yeah, with 2021, design collaboration works for Plant 3D.
Mm-hmm. It's a very exciting kind of addition, and it's just showing you guys some more of the capability that's there. We're going to take another deep dive into that one, with packages and kind of showing how you can publish information, creating these packages and sharing that content. For cost management, this one is kind of a newer module, and what we're doing is getting into this one. It allows you to set your budgets, any cost codes, and gives you nice reports to kind of export and print out in terms of how your project is doing budget wise, right? Project management, this one you're going to see a lot of your RFIs, your submittals, and also you're going to be able to build issues kind of into that with those project issues, right? So you're going to be able to track these RFIs, track these issues, track your submittals, build a nice kind of, I want to say, a workflow with your RFIs and your submittals in terms of reviewers, managers, things like that, setting up nice processes for this. Your model coordination. That one reminds me a lot like the great aggregator, right? Navisworks, where you're taking these models that are pushed into document management. And if we enable that, right, let's say you're updating these models all the time. Well, I like to think that model coordination, what it's going to do is bring those models together. So you host them in a coordination space. And when you host these models together, it automatically clash detects them for you. It automatically links them up and lists you out a nice group of columns that's going to tell you how many clashes you have based off of each model one-to-one. Fantastic. I'm excited to get into that one.
It's a great matrix.
Oh, yeah, dude, it is a great matrix. I mean, honestly, it's capable of hosting almost any file type. So you're seeing that with docs, right? Docs, a big thing with docs is You can host almost any file type there, and there's no real limit for uploads, right? No real limit for uploads in terms of upload size. And when you combine that with model coordination, I mean, you're really enabling people to, I want to say, collaborate to the fullest degree, right? We're pulling in all different types of data to really, I want to say aggregate, but we're combining these models to get down to the nitty gritty of what's going on, so we can do the proper clash detection.
Well, when you combine the matrix and the automated clash detection with the
Hmm.
doc's capabilities of issue creation and tracking,
Hmm.
it just blows it out of the water and gets it a step further. So really excited to dive into that
Yeah,
later in this series.
yeah, me too, me too. So with field management, this is one you're going to see a lot of your daily logs. We're also going to see some checklists, some like walkthroughs or safety checklists. I saw some punch lists on there, or quality control, code compliance, bunch of different types of things that you can actually go through and utilize within field management to communicate data. But another big thing about this is, um, even with these other modules, especially field management and with BIM 360 as a whole, is the fact that you can access a lot of this information right from your mobile device, right? So in playing with BIM 360 field management earlier, I got into creating a checklist, actually going through creating a punch report and signing it on my phone, right? So creating these instances, taking pictures, things like that with my mobile device, and then signing the document and pushing that report up. So again, kind of communicating that information, making sure that everybody is capable of communicating. We'll go into that one more when we get into field. Um, for the last two here, we are going to cover these as well. And this is going to be for your project and account admin. So we will do a separate episode on the project and account admin as far as who has what responsibilities, who does what in the project, setting it up, getting the members in, getting your companies, getting all the services, the applications, anything like that that you guys are going to use in terms of third-party add-ins, things like that. All right. So yeah, thank you again for joining us. And I'm definitely looking forward to diving into BIM 360 with you guys during this series for success. Joey, did you have anything else?
No, that was perfect. Looking forward to the future episodes.